Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Laid Back Trader. Couple of upgrades. I have worked out how to have my camera in the corner when I'm recording, so you can see my lovely face as we go along. And I've also purchased a nice microphone. It has finally arrived, so hopefully the audio is going to be a little bit better. Quick premise of these sessions is I will basically do a quick overview of between 4 to 6 pairs where I have seen a reasonable opportunity to enter within the week, hopefully. I will go over why I think there is an opportunity there, what I'm looking for, and I'll also cover how I do my analysis. So we'll be going over the GBPUSD, the dollar yen, the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, and then the euro yen as well. So without further ado, let's get into it and do some analysis. So I am looking at the GBPUSD on the daily chart, and I've cleared all the charts. So let's draw in where we deem to be our key areas of support and resistance and get our nice purple rectangles in play. So we know that the 132 has been key recently. This is where the GBPUSD has recently come up to and stopped. Nice round figure, often areas of resistance and support. So let's mark that one in there. Move that down a little bit. Okay, there is one there. Next line that I can see, relevant to me now, that I want to be cognizant of, is here. Now this one's a little less clear, because the market's never always perfect, but we can see that it acted as a really nice area of resistance here, 3 times there. Then it broke above and then became support for a while, flirted with it, went in between, came back up, hit the 132 as the key area of resistance, and then dropped off a cliff. But we know that that was a response to some fundamentals around COVID, etc. Then it's worked its way back up here and broken through with this really nice bullish movement, broken through, hit the 132, been rejected, come back down, and it's found support here. And that's no coincidence, because we can see that that has happened previously. If I scroll out, I'm just going to put in one more area of key support and resistance. Draw my line. For me, it's down here with the 128. And boom. There we go. So on the daily, the 3 key areas that I will be looking at as we go down into the 4-hourly chart, and I want to be cognizant of these. So moving down into the 4-hourly, what I'll do is I'll go full screen, because someone said that I should do that, and it's a really good idea. So now I know on the daily that my purple rectangles are representing key areas that the market respects and has respected previously. What can we see? Huge bullish impulse to the upside, hit this nice area of resistance, come back down, found support here, and then has gone back up and retested it to form a double top and has now rolled over. I did my analysis last week, and I think we were looking at it around here, and we suspected it was going to go up one more time. So what will I be doing? So as you saw in my strategy video, my preference would be to go with the trend. This is a strong bullish trend. I believe that this pair is going to stay up here and it's going to range. I think it's going to keep going between these 2 areas of support and resistance. So I think we're going to come down here one more time, get into this area of support, and then we're going to bounce back up. So what I would really like to see is this. You can already see here a nice bit of rejection as it's approached this area again. So whether I catch it this time or the next time that it comes down, I would be looking for buys as it approaches here. See how it reacts when it reaches this area of support. Then I would be looking for buys, simply because I think it's not going to break. I think it will break through. I think it's just going to take a while to do it. It's going to be a big move to break through this region here. So I think there's going to be a lot of indecision in between. But my preference is to go with the trend and get a buy when we get a really nice retest of this area. Will we get a 3-to-1 out of it? Yeah, you bet we'll get a 3-to-1 out of it. Here we go. Move this up here. Drag that down a bit so we can see properly. And likely take profit would be there. And where would I most likely enter the trade? Probably around there. So if I can get an entry, it comes back down here, buy, and then put my stop. I actually want my stop probably a little bit lower down here, but I'll be entering lower as well. So that's what the trade would look like. That would give me a risk to reward of 1 to 6. So a lovely trade to be had there. So that's what we want. We want to see a nice bounce, clear sign of rejection, and then we want to take the trade all the way up back to this zone here. I'll follow it up. You never know, we could get really lucky and we could break through this area of resistance, break through, and then retest, and then we're on the up. But either way, believe it or not, I do want to, even though we've hit this key area of resistance, I want to be going with the trend and I want to be buying. Okay, so that's what I'll be looking for on the GBPUSD. Moving on to the USD Japanese yen, and now I've got it'll take me automatically to the 4 hourly, won't it? So let's go back to the daily on this one. And I absolutely love this. This is a really good example of support becoming resistance. So for those of you who've watched my video previously, I've taken all the analysis out, or all the drawings out, but let's draw our key area of support and resistance. We can see it very nicely on the daily here. We can see that is our key area. So it's acted as support once, boom, comes back down twice. Really nice rejection there, you can see from that candle. And then it rolled over and it broke through. Strong bearish candles, clear indication that it had broken through. Then it instantly came back up to retest it. And you can see that really nice wick rejection there. So the bulls tried to take it above. Sorry if I'm jigging around a bit. Bulls tried to take it above, will push back down, and then it tried to roll over, but it's thinking, no, we're going to come back up one more time and we're going to test this again. So what will I be looking for? We'll take it to the 4 hour chart. I will be, and I'll move this just for the purposes. So when you do move between the scales, the time frames, you will get this. Why is that not moving? There we go. So what I'll be looking for is I will be looking for this to come back up. It won't have to go that far, so I should be technically might be able to take this tomorrow morning, but I'll keep an eye on it. So I'm looking for this to come back up here, really try and break above, and then get rejected. Similar to here, we've got some nice wick rejection and seeing some clear signs of rejection there. So where will the trade be? It will be here, and I will most likely enter the trade around there. I want my stop to be above these previous wick highs, and then my take profit would be down here. I want at least a 3 to 1, but I would say there. So why have I picked there? Simply because I believe that if we are in a downward trend, which this is leading us to believe because it has formed a new lower low. Not only that, it's formed a lower high here, and we've also broken this key area of previous support, and we're now retesting it. So would I believe that if we're in a downtrend, we're going to get at least to where we were here? Then absolutely. So that's a really nice trade, and I believe I could probably take that one hopefully tomorrow, depending on what it does. So yeah, that is the USD yen. Let's look at the Aussie versus the USD. Right, so let's get down to the daily. Ooh, I haven't taken out one of my purple rectangles here, but never mind, it's just saved me a job. So we can see that we've been in a really sort of consistent downward trend, the same volatility that we saw before, but as I've already drawn in from this purple rectangle, a very clear area of support becoming resistance. So it held the market up here really nicely, held up, bit of a spike, probably a fundamental news coming out there, held it, broke this resistance. That support, sorry, that became resistance, came back down, and again retested that resistance, resistance, and has tested it again twice, there and there. What do we get next? So let's look at it a little bit closely. So despite all of these attempts previously, we couldn't break this former support, now resistance, but with one, and it always tends to be like that, with one very strong bullish candle, we have broken above this key area of resistance. We've come back. We can see that we've tested it here, come back up, retested it one more time, and then come back up again. Do I think it's going to retest it for a third time? I hope so. So I'll take that to the 4 hourly. You can get a better look at it. So yeah, we can clearly see here that we'll move this for the purposes of the 4 hourly. So yeah, a break, a retest, another retest here, and it's come back up and it's heading towards it again. So I want to go with the trend. Really nice bullish impulse here. I would really happily, the moment that this touches this area of now support, I would take this trade very happily. And what would it look like? Again, am I going to get my risk to reward that I want out of it? So most likely enter there. My stops will be there. And then can I realistically aim for back up here? I certainly can, because we're in an upward trend. So there you have it. You've got a risk to reward of 1 to 3.2. So really nice. And just to illustrate that for those who may not understand it, we're waiting for it to come back into here, shows nice sign of rejection, and then we would expect it to take off up here and continue with this upward trend. So that's what we're looking at on the Aussie dollar versus the US dollar. And then the last one that I'm going to show is the euro yen. So I love the euro yen. I think you have an affinity to a pair that you believe that you understand its behavior. And I feel like I've got to know the euro yen really well. It's kind of like your crazy cousin. Maybe crazy and a bit erratic, but you kind of know what's going on. So if we zoom out, I'll actually go full screen for this one so we get a better picture. This is it on the daily. What have we got going on? So we've been consistently moving to the downside. We get really quite sort of volatile, and that's why I quite like it, and that's why I call it the crazy cousin of the pairs. But yes, so huge downward impulse, nice consolidation, and then sort of zigzagging. So it's kind of almost reluctant, slowly come back down here, and then it's reacted to this key level here. No surprise, you can see it was acting as support here, and shoots off. So let's start drawing in some lines. I'll show you something as well, which is going a little bit beyond the purple lines. So we know, just for the sake of learning, this is a key area of support. It's held up the market when it's been in trouble and going south a couple of times and bounced off. But the most important thing for me here is that this was actually trading, this was actually quite nicely following a downward trend, a downward channel. So, and I can see that here. I'm only interested in putting this in. Make it a little bit prettier. Get that line there. So you can see it was actually respecting this resistance in a channel. So hit this a couple of times here, and then has broken above it with a nice impulse. So following this trend, slowly going down, relatively reluctantly, starts to hit an area of support and reacts. Hits this thoroughly, comes back up, breaks this channel. Still getting used to trading view, but I do really like it actually. I think the guys there have done a really good job with this. So yeah, hits this area of support, breaks above, and then comes back down and retests, comes back above again. And can we see another area of resistance here? Yes, we can. So this is our now the area of resistance or previous resistance that we want to be paying attention to. Let's take this down to the 4 hourly. So let's get a better look at it. Oof. Does go a bit funky when you do that. Right. Move that up here. So full screen so we can get a better look at it. Area of resistance, we knew that it was struggling to break this. It has come above here, nice bullish candle as we'd expect to see, broken well above it and then come back down, retested it, come back up again, retested it again. And the bears are saying, are we sure? Are we sure we're going above? Are we sure? The bulls are taking it even higher and now we're heading back down into this region. So I'm guessing everybody will know where I'm going with this, but I want to follow the trend. Again, we're in a nice upward trend. We've broken that downward channel as well, so that's a key indicator for me that we are on the up. So I will be looking for this to come back down here, retest this area of previous resistance, now support, and take it away. So that's what I'm looking for it to do. I want to see nice rejection. See this candle here, we can see the clear wick rejection. The bears tried to take it down here and they couldn't, shot back up. Again, tried again, they didn't even get into that zone necessarily this time. Shot back up. And again, as it edges towards it, it's, you know, the bears are reluctant. They're saying, right, okay, come on, we'll get down here, and we can break below. But I can almost guarantee that when we do get here, this is going to take off again. And am I going to be able to get my 3 to 1? I have no doubt that I will. So I want to put my stop loss there and my take profit at least to these previous highs. And what will that give me? That will give me a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 4.08. So well within my parameters. All of the trades that I've shown today, you know, the most important thing for me is the risk to reward ratio. They've all got a minimum of 1 to 3, in some cases a lot more than that. But I won't necessarily be just putting my take profit, like, you know, here and saying, right, that's it, they're out. That may happen, but what I would like to do, if I can manage the trade, is I would like to just move my stop up with them and put everything into break even as soon as possible. Okay, so that is it for the 4 pairs that I wanted to show today. Apologies if it was a bit, if my explanation of things was a bit lacking. It is hot and I've had to shut my window and everything because there's a dog outside barking. Yeah, it's just one of those days, but hopefully that all made sense and everybody understands. I guess what I should also say is this is not financial advice. Everyone has these disclaimers. I don't know what the legalities of it are, but I'm going to say this is just what I'm looking at. This is what I'm going to be doing, and hopefully, adding these, trading these on my FTMO challenge this week. But don't follow what I'm doing unless you have a good understanding of this and you agree and you understand. This is just me explaining what I'm going to be doing. I'm not telling you guys to do this. It's just telling you. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. But with all of that said and done, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until the next time, take it easy. And if it's easy, take it.